Right here, I've designed a data binder. And in this link right here, it will take you to the Google slide where you can duplicate pages or you can edit whatever you need to for your own data binder this school year. And so with this data binder, what will happen is students are going to each get their own individual copy. The first thing you want to make sure is that you have all of your pages ready to go. Even if you don't want everything finished, you'll want to go ahead and make sure that you have enough pages for whatever activity you're working on. So maybe you have the learning journey here. This is where I might want to put out my standards, or I might want to do it by page. So I might have like my power standards or my domains, and then I might duplicate them for my next domain. Again, it depends on how you want to set these up. Think about how you want to organize your goal setting. Do you need one page? Do you need multiple pages? Do you need to change what the text says? Same thing with this pre and post data. Think about what kind of data do you want to collect for your students. When it comes to climbing the ladder of success, do you want it to focus on one activity, or again, do you want to duplicate this for many different times for your students to think about, okay, here was the least difficult step that I'm about to achieve, and this is the most difficult step. The next section that we go into is Through My Eyes, where again you can duplicate this and students can complete by topic and they can reflect on what was successful, what do they plan to do better, what do they want their teacher to know, and maybe this week's rating. So for this one, you might duplicate it for the entire school year and maybe students complete this on Fridays. So you would need to map out how many Fridays you have in the year and how many times you want to do this activity. There's even a place for student behavior where they are going to be able to use tools in Kami to really spotlight. And once students reach that 100%, they will get something that they're working towards. The last one is Students' Greatest Hits, where they're going to share their hit, take an image of it, add a recording, and write a rating. So they're going to reflect on their greatest hits. This binder can be great for IEP meetings, but it can also be great for teacher parent conferences. So here is that binder in Kami. And again, a lot of the tools in Kami students are going to be able to use. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click share and I'm going to create an assignment for my data binder. And I'm going to call this data binder. And I can add instructions here, but you can also record video instructions in Kami. And I'm going to make a copy for every single student. You can choose your class or your classes. And again, you're going to just want to make sure you have all of the pages laid out. Do you want to organize your data binder by quarters or maybe for the entire year? Decide if it goes to all students or just some. And then you can turn on feature controls, but I'm going to leave those turned off because I want all of my students to have all of the tools within Kami. And I'm going to click assign. And what's going to happen is my students are going to go into their assignment in their Google Classroom, and they're going to open up that data binder. And once students open up that data binder, they are going to be able to begin to add and work and reflect throughout their learning. And so here is my teacher version, and I'm going to go ahead and open it up with Kami. And what I'm going to be able to do is I'm going to be able to come in here and add in additional pieces of information throughout the year. I can also use class view in order to see every single one of my learners that is in my class. So I can do data binder checks really, really quickly. So here is Haley, but then here's student Stephanie. And again, I'll be able to come in and you might use the sticker tool or you might create your own stickers and you can give them feedback for how your students are doing. I can come in here and I can type in what my students should be working towards. Maybe I want to go ahead and have this mapped out for my students. So rather than individually having my students type it or me typing it on each of their own binders, I can click on this green button right here and it takes me to the template file. And with the template file, I can then come over here, grab the text box, and start to type out the standards that I want my students to master. And so again, I can come in, type them out, and once I'm ready for my students to get those updates, I hit update all. And my students are going to have those updates right on their screen immediately. And so now my students can come in and they're able to use the heart. And they can say, hey, I've done this, right? I've mastered that concept. Okay, now I've mastered this one. And so they're able to show their mastery among the standards. And again, you're able to track your students' progress within ClassView. So ClassView again allows you to see each of your students' data binder as they're working on these activities. I can also again come into this green button where I can edit the assignment, edit that template, and ship it out to every single one of my learners. So first, think about how much you want your data binder set up. Do you want it by quarters for the entire year? What pages do you need? What activities maybe can you tweak or change? And then you'll want to open it up in Kami and assign it to your learning management system. This way, students can respond by text, audio, even video responses. They can even draw their ideas and their struggles too. And again, you're able to share these activities with your parents. So if I'm walking through this as a student, my students are going to be able to have their binder open. They're able to track their progress on the learning journey. Students can come in here, use the text box, and write out their learning goals that they're working on. They can use the drawing tool or the shapes tool to circle how they're doing and how they're understanding, and they can track their progress over time. They can even come in and they're able to upload screenshots of their work from their computer or from their Google Drive. This will allow students to compare their pre and post data, and plus they can record a video reflection on how they did on this assessment. Students, again, can think about that ladder. What's that easiest step that I can do now, and what's going to be the most difficult step to help build that metacognition as they're learning? They can even think through my eyes, where they can focus in on what they were successful by, what they plan to do better. And again, students have voice and choice. They can write text comments, voice comments, or even video capture what they've been working on and how they've been successful that week. They can focus on their behavior and use the comment tool again to share how they have been a star student in the student spotlight. They can also have a goal. So once they reach 100, they get that goal that they've been working towards. When it comes to their greatest hits, they can type in the activity, provide an image, record a reflection, and then they can add a 5-star rating on that activity. Again, you're going to be able to show the students' progress throughout the years. And as students click on these little tabs over here, it's going to take them straight to those pages in their binder. And you're able to use that ClassView to monitor and provide feedback and update students' binders in real time. So go ahead and give it a try.